Good day. As you know, we've been practicing how to get a job, and one of the tools that we're going to discuss today, or the tool we're going to discuss today in getting a job, is the resume. What is the purpose of a resume? A resume gives an employer a snapshot view of your education, your skills, and your accomplishments. Once you create a resume and you send it in for consideration for a job, it is what you are giving them is the information you want them to see if you're qualified for the job, to see if you're going to be a good fit for their company. So when you are creating your resume, think of it as an advertisement of you. It is your voice on paper that they look at so that they can decide whether or not you would even get an interview. So we're going to begin by going over the major components of a resume. Many of your resumes will not be as you develop, as you grow, your resume will grow with you. So keep in mind today that we're going over the very basics of a resume because a lot of you don't have very much experience. And you're just starting. You're just starting as people. So this is going to help us get a good base for your resume. We're going to begin with giving your contact information. This should be at the very top of your resume. It gives the employer your name, your address, your phone number, an email address. All this is vital information for them to contact you, for them to, if they've gone through your resume, to let you know, hey, we would like to interview you, or hey, we would like to offer you this job. We think you would be a good fit. More and more, they are employers are reaching out through email. So make sure you have a valid email. Make sure that your email is one that you check every day. Make sure that your information is all correct in this area. The first point of content is the objective. Your objective should be stated at the top, right? The word objective. And then, what your objective is. An objective declares the position that you're applying for and the reason that you're applying. So in my example, I am seeking a job where I'm working with the public. That could be used for a variety of jobs. You can also make it more specific to the job that you are actually applying for. So if you were a waitress and now you want to become a hostess, you could say, I am seeking the job of hostess at Valentino's for because I have a lot of experience as a waitress, or to use my experiences as a waitress. Your objective really just declares the position that you're applying for, and you can include why you're applying for that job. Your education. This is the first place where you can highlight your abilities. So you could highlight that you graduated from high school, that you are a current part-time student at Southeast Community College, or you're a current student at UNL. Share all of your educational experiences. You also would share with them if you have earned a certificate, say your certified nursing aide or your medication aide certificate. This would be a place where you would put that as well. Work experience. You may not have any work experience, and that is okay. Maybe this is your first job that you're trying to get. In work experience, though, you will need to put in there any sort of job experience that you may have. You may put in here work experience that you didn't get paid for. So maybe you babysat for your cousin. So you might say, previous babysitting experience. You might say that you worked at the library for a couple hours. Any work experience that would have, any experience that you would have that is work related, even if you weren't per se getting a paycheck, could go into here. The work experience that I placed was Valentino's, a hostess, welcomed customers to the restaurant, ran the cash register. You need to list the position that you had and give some examples of some of the work that you did. And then underneath that, you could put how long you worked there. You may have specific dates, Um, they don't have to be specific, but generally to demonstrate your length that you were at that job. Sharing your former employment helps the current employee that you're looking for the job. They can see, does her experience, is that going to be compatible with the job that we're looking for? It also helps them to see what kind of jobs you have done. It helps them to see how long you stayed at that job. Most importantly, in the work experience, it gives them an idea of how much work you have done. Any special skills that you might have. Special skills may come from your work experience or it may come from your education. This is an area where you can share what you feel is really good about you. I demonstrated being a good listener. Being listening skills are really important in most positions where you're working with people. And so that is one of my skills that I feel I'm really good at, so I place that on there. Any sort of effective communication skills, being responsible, computer skills, being self-motivated, that you don't need someone constantly over you is kind of being self-motivated. Being a leader. If you are have a 60 word per minute typing score, and you're looking for a job where you are going to use those types of skills. This is a good place to put in any special skills that you might have. They don't have to be, it may be that you are a good negotiator. There's a list of skills. You need to think about yourself personally and then come up with what you feel are your special skills. Volunteer work. This goes back kind of to the work experience area, but if you have volunteered, it helps the employer see how invested you are in the community, what kind of person you are as far as willing to volunteer to go that extra yard. It also shows them what your interests are. Um, Volunteer work could be that you were a Sunday school helper, or you taught Sunday school, or you helped with Vacation Bible School work, volunteering within your church, or that you volunteered at the Humane Society, that you read to the kindergartners. I put that on there because a lot of times in school, um, as a high school student, you may, as a sophomore class, may go down and read to the kindergartners. This may be a good place for you to put some of those experiences that you have had and get credit for them. Let them know that you do volunteer and that you do extra things within your community. So, the resume includes contact information, a solid objective, your education, your special skills, and volunteering. Those are kind of the main core ones. If you have references, there's usually a reference page, but I have seen resumes where you might put a contact person on there, a reference on your resume. You may also put any sort of special awards or certificates that you have um, received. You um, maybe you received an award for being on the honor roll. Maybe you received an award as a Girl Scout. You can add a special awards section onto your resume. It's very individualized. A good resume makes you visible. Remember that your resume is an advertisement of you. It is your voice on paper to your employer. So now that we have the components, you're aware of what they are, we're going to practice writing a resume. I know that you can do it. Good luck.